Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Definitely let me know in the comments how you've been doing with the collective energies. I feel like this specific collective that's coming through for me today has really been undergoing a lot of healing and is in need of a lot of healing. And I'm just kind of being guided to smudge this area, smudge through this video, and stay as long as you need in this portion of this reading, this cleansing portion, in order to heal your energy. There has been so much overthinking, so much anxiety, so much worry about what you cannot see, what you cannot differentiate, between what's actually happening and what your ego mind is fearing is happening. So grounding, cleansing, clearing is extremely important right now. As we all set our intentions for this reading, I encourage you to call in on your angels, your spirit guides, ascended masters, whatever divine powers you also resonate with, to really help bring in the love and the light for clarity and truthful messages, even through your own intuition. So I really, really like the cleansing vibration of this Palo Santo stick, and I only use one at a time because I don't want this area to be filled with smoke and then I won't be able to speak. So we will just let it simmer here, and hopefully you can continue to see some smoke through the camera lens. It is still going. I'll pull it here, maybe that'll help. If you don't smudge, I really do recommend smudging. It's a very healing experience, I've noticed. It clears out your energy in a way that makes you feel like you've just done, a whole session of meditation or something of that nature. So I do recommend it. Today I will be using the Before Tarot. I usually use the Before and the After Tarot together, but for some reason today I'm just feeling like it's only going to be this deck. But of course I have the After Tarot here, so we can go grab it if Spirit dictates that we need it for the reading. I'm going to start with a quick message from the Star Codes Astro Oracle to get an idea of what might be going on cosmically, collectively, that is causing this intense, immense need for healing. Mercury messages, and this is the number 20 card. So messages for sure are downloading from the 5D, but I also feel like some messages might be coming your way in the 3D that maybe you're picking up on the other person's anxiety for. I feel like whoever is wanting to deliver this message to you might be anxious about doing it. So let's have a look. Who could this person be, and what is this message that wants to come in here? King of Cups. Okay, so this very well could be your counterpart who is wanting to message you after maybe a long period of disconnect, or after a misunderstanding, or just wanting to apologize. For some, I'm getting they may be wanting to ask for help. Nine of Swords, yes. You are definitely picking up on their restlessness. This Nine of Swords has their energy, but I feel it being mirrored within you as well. So, they're probably ruminating and overthinking on sending this message so much that the energy is traveling and touching you, and that's what this messages card is also about. It's not just the message that this King of Cups wants to send, it's the message that their higher self is sending to you, saying, I'm trying to reach you. and their movement is slow here, Knight of Pentacles, right? So they're really taking their time to take action. They're really thinking about it. See how this Knight hasn't even grabbed that pentacle yet? It's just up there on that tree and he's reaching for it, but it's not even in his hand. So he's really just thinking about, okay, I've got to send this message. I've got to make this movement. And here we have the King of Swords. This King of Swords is really analytical, hyper rational, really almost tuned out of the heart space and too much into the head space. And I feel like this person that I'm channeling can sometimes be manipulated by their own ego, not necessarily external forces or people, but just their own negative thinking tendencies that really get in the way of them making the changes that they need to when they need to make them. But those changes are manifesting here from what I can see. And do you see the bird on that man's arm? This is also indicative of a message coming in. That bird is almost like a messenger bird that would carry a scroll in its talons and drop it off wherever, you know, the recipient of that message would be. So another confirmation here in this deck of a message coming in that really had been slow to arrive, but is now, it feels like, on its way. King of Wands. And I'm really being drawn to that lion here. So Wands is always fire sign energy, but this person could have like a Leo moon, sun, or rising, or one of their major placements could be in Leo. Take that as it resonates. It doesn't have to be, it could just be a fire sign, or it could be just that fire energy within them, that motivation that's sparking. And notice how my candle is kind of flickering as I'm saying that. And that to me is indicating this message of their motivation just trying to bubble up again, like push through that indecisiveness. We have the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, where this person has taken, you know, the world into their hand, and now they're just about to make that move. So they know that there's no turning back once they make this move. And not that they, you know, it's not a desire to be able to do that, but rather it's the consequences of what might come next. And there we go. They're wanting to bring in a renewal with you. They're afraid of messing it up. It's, I won't have a do-over if I mess it up. So it's not about anything else. It's about them being so caught up in their head about whether or not this message is going to come across right, how you would receive it. And look at this, you guys, alignment. You're here ready to receive it. See how this Queen of Wands is reaching down, ready to pick that sunflower? Well, and we have the King of Wands here. You are in alignment with this message that's coming in. I'm getting that it's an insecurity around delivery of that message that is really holding this person back. But like we talked about earlier, they're getting that spark, that motivation, that push from the heavens that they need to make this move, and excuses are just not going to work anymore. So, oh my gosh, it's like all the cards are just speaking to this movement that now this person, I feel like, is kind of being backed into a corner for having to make. And it's not just that they're being pushed to make it, but they really want to make it. See, Page of Swords. They're not quite as emotionally mature as you. They could be afraid that, you know, they might trigger you. Maybe they've come from an environment, perhaps their childhood, perhaps, you know, the situations and friendships they've been in, where there was a lot of petty arguments. There was a lot of hot-headed people around where, you know, conversations just didn't go well sometimes, and self-expression wasn't really supported because of that. So that's why I feel like this person is struggling Because pages typically are younger energies, I do feel like that issue stems from their younger years of life. So it's not really anything to do with you or how they feel about you, but rather it is them relearning how, conversations typically would go with reasonable people. And we have the High Priestess here at the bottom of the deck saying that there is a lot hidden here. Do you see how the moon is at her feet right now? Usually the High Priestess has that on her head or above her head, but right now it's at her feet, which tells me that their intuition is really clouded sometimes, but it is coming to light, because notice that the moon is still visible. Even if it's at her feet, it's not like shrouded under her clothing or, behind another object that she has to reach for it. It is right there. They just have to take a minute to breathe, like clear this restless energy and just breathe. Breathe into this process. 10 of Pentacles. This is what they want. This is what this message is all about. It's about fixing the past in order to build the future that you both desire. So this is definitely a message from your divine counterpart, being ready to take the first step with you. I really don't feel like this person is going to come in and put a relationship offer on the table right away. They may still not fully be ready for that. Some of them might be. And even if they do put an offer on the table, like, okay, let's be exclusive with each other, I do get the feeling that they're still going to want to take it slow, because they want this connection to work. They want this connection to be victorious. They want fulfillment from this connection, and they don't want to sabotage it no matter what. They're willing to do anything and everything it takes to make sure that this works. And that's why there's so much restless energy in them, is because they're in a perfectionist mindset right now, hyper fixated on all of the details that probably, they do matter, but they don't matter as much in terms of them at least being able to come forward and say something to you. But that is what this intensity that you are feeling is all about. Any other messages? Yeah, there's a lot of mental energy going on here. The Five of Swords. The swords is the air element. It's all about the mind, and in their mind, they're really like fighting off their own ego, and maybe that had been more of an issue in the past. I feel like this is really being overcome now. I feel like they have been fighting with that headspace, that ego for so long, that now they're kind of an expert at learning, when to shut it up, or they're becoming that expert, I should say. They're not quite there yet, but it's coming. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. They're becoming, more secure within themselves. Their ideas are more fertile than they had been before. And they know that you are their missing pentacle, right? You are the 10th pentacle that they are coming in for. So the fact that these two came out together is really synchronistic, because you're just that missing piece to, what they want out of their life, what they're aiming for, what they're going for. And now they're coming in for you. And it's scary. It's a scary place to be in, because it feels vulnerable. It feels like now reality is going to hit. And there's no escaping reality, because they're actually going to be face to face with you and have to hear your answers. They're going to have to accept whatever decision you make, whether it is to accept them or to reject them, whatever it is. And so truly, it's scary for this person. I'm wanting to pull from the Romance Angels. Let's see, any messages from the Romance Angels or guidance that we can get on this situation, about this message that's about to come in here. Heart-to-heart conversations and honeymoon. Calling in your soulmate at the bottom of the deck. This is coming in, you guys. There's definitely going to be some heart-to-heart conversations. This person is not used to opening up. They're not used to being vulnerable, like we mentioned before, and it is scary, but they know that it's something that they want to do. And I just keep hearing trust. I feel like this person trusts you, even though it's difficult, even though their ego mind tries to create doubts. But this person truly does trust you. I feel like they are learning to drown that ego mind out and just tell themselves that my counterpart is trustworthy. She's been here with me through thick and thin. She has not let me go even through this disconnect, because they can feel that energetically, intuitively, they know that. And so they are more willing to take this risk because of that trust that exists with you in this connection that they truly don't have with anyone else or anywhere else. And then after that, that you can expect a honeymoon period. For some, you might even, you know, like go somewhere together. It doesn't have to be like a formal trip. It could just be going somewhere nice to sit and talk, and where it's just the two of you and it feels intimate and safe, and like you have the privacy you need in a setting that's not stressful, that kind of takes you away from the day-to-day distractions, and just reconnecting with one another. For some reason, I'm really being drawn to the picture here on the back of this card, where do you see how these two lovers are just really connecting intimately? It feels like they've probably just had a heart-to-heart conversation or a vulnerable moment, and now they're just connecting because they feel even safer after they've built that trust even further with one another. I really feel like that's what's happening here. This is what is coming in, and it's going to be a beautiful surprise, because even though you know it's coming, this is kind of a terrible example to use, but it's the best I could think of right now. Like if you know somebody is sick at the hospital and they're not going to make it, right? Like the doctors have announced that so-and-so is going to pass away. You know that it's coming. You don't really know when. They give you an estimated time frame. Sometimes they pass away before that, and sometimes they pass away after. But whenever it happens, it's still shocking. You knew it was coming, right? But it's still shocking. So it's almost like that, but in a much more positive light, where you know this conversation is coming. You can feel it in your gut intuitively, you know, but when it happens, it's still going to be shocking. Like, wow, it actually did happen. Like part of you was feeling like this may just be a dream, you know, like, is this ever truly going to come to fruition and happen for me? The answer is yes, and you will be surprised, but it will be a pleasant surprise. So I hope that helps, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Check out my video description box for where you can join me on Instagram and TikTok for daily messages, mini energy check-ins for the collective, for all areas of life. Could be career, could be romance, could be pretty much anything. So those are all, fun messages to have access to if you want to have more content from me. And also Instagram is the place where you can purchase my twin flame manifestation affirmations. All of that information will also be in the video description box. And Instagram is also the place where you can purchase personal readings from me. So I hope to see you all there. But if not, I'll definitely talk to you again in the next video. Have a beautiful day.